Welcome back, everyone, to episode 53 of Against the Call. Today, we have a super packed lineup for you. I'm your host, Nick, and I'm joined by my co-host, Michael, and we are just so excited. We're in the dog days of summer, as I like to call it, and there's a lot going on right now, ending seasons for the NBA, the NHL, but, you know, baseball is also in their so-called dog days, so expect a lot of baseball content in the future. But as for today's show, we're going to go over the College World Series happening this Friday, so tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to have our Around the League NHL playoff update, Around the League NBA playoff update, both of them covering the finals and the Stanley Cup. We're also going to have our Mount Rushmore, the greatest NBA coaches of all time. Then we're going to have Around the League NFL, our countdown of the most hated players in the NFL. We're also going to have our Fight Club UFC 289, which is going to be led by beautiful Big Mike over here. And then we're also going to have our draft day, things that make you think of summer / summer vibes. And Michael has in parentheses songs, places, and movies.
That was just to help you because you didn't know what to do.
Fair enough. Yeah, and then we'll have our post game. So let's kick it off with a pregame, guys. As you can see in front of us, we have Prime. We got Prime Boys. And,
we got Prime Boys.
We are not sponsored, but you know, it's pretty good drink. So
Logan Paul, sponsor us.
The most average Prime drinker right here.
With the most average podcast in Ohio.
Common Ohio podcast right here, bro. But other than that,
our little comedians.
Right here, dude. We're here. But other than that, we have reached 600 followers on Instagram. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but we did. We had over 600.
Just a normal thing for us now.
It is just too normal, bro. But make sure you guys are following all of our socials, and if you're watching on the YouTube right now, please subscribe. And if you're not watching the YouTube, please go over there and subscribe, because YouTube has actually turned down their membership policy to get monetized. Did you see that?
I did. Thank you, John.
Yeah, John sent it, and then also Jay sent it later on. So shout out Jay too, showing us that. But yeah, we only need 500 subs to get to that point. So make sure you guys are subscribing. Halfway there, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into our first segment, which is going to be one of the latest things for upcoming sports, which is going to be the College World Series. Super exciting time. Anytime the College World Series is going on and my team is in it, obviously I'm going to talk about it. If my team wasn't in it, I probably wouldn't even be talking about this. I'll be honest with you.
But UCF isn't in it.
But Tennessee is, and, you know, so obviously I'm going to talk about it. But other than that, I mean, with the College World Series, speaking of my team, yeah, Tennessee is that team. And I don't know if you were able to see it, but the Super Regional that they played in was absolutely electric. Did you see any of it?
I did see clips from it.
What clips did you see?
It was just the crowd was going hype, and the game I heard was really good.
Yeah, so the first game, keep in mind, the game for it was Southern Miss versus Tennessee. Southern Miss actually got to host, which was very controversial, especially after Tennessee owned the Clemson Regional.
Mm-hmm.
So things were really just up in the air. I think it did have to do a little bit of rankings. So Southern Miss got it, and it was going to be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And Hattiesburg was raining like every day, while in Knoxville it was sunny and beautiful all 3 games. So the crazy thing was a lot of games, you know, the first game got delayed, so then they had to play 2 in one day. USM took the first game, and then Tennessee took the second. And then the next game was set to play around, I think, 6 or 8, one of those times. And it didn't start until 10:06 at night due to lightning and weather. And I was like, man, I'm not watching this. Like, it's too late. But then I didn't have anything else going on. I decided to watch it, and I'm so thankful I did, Mike. It was an electric game. That's the best word I can use, especially whenever, you know, Chase Burns, our closer, comes in and is just absolutely insane. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, please do. He started throwing, I think his first 5 pitches were all over 100 miles.
Dang.
And then on top of that, his lowest pitch that was, you know, in the box was 90. And he played 3 innings. You know, in college, in the College World Series or college
as a closer.
baseball, yeah, they play more innings than closers in the professionals. So Tennessee, I mean, this isn't new. You know, we've had Ben Joyce just last year throw 105.5 miles per hour, the highest in all of NCAA history. So, Tennessee and their closing pitchers, absolutely great. But, this does worry me because the College World Series first game will be Tennessee versus LSU.
Mm-hmm.
LSU has, I think, the number 1 or number 2 MLB prospect on their team right now. Forgot his name, but credit to him. He's playing great. I don't expect Tennessee to win this, sadly. But I do think that Tennessee going to their second World Series in 3 years is an entirely different feat, especially from this team I didn't think was going to even make a super regional, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
They've been disappointing this entire season, but maybe they found their groove. Don't let them get hot, maybe. I don't know, but LSU, yeah, it's baseball.
Anything can happen.
And LSU and Tennessee, they did have a series over the regular season. I only remember this because, your cousins are big LSU fans. Tennessee did not win the series, took one game. So that does give me just a slight bit of confidence going into this College World Series, but we'll see. I got LSU probably winning this. Do I want Tennessee to win? Obviously, but LSU is just all around better. Mm-hmm. And last time I had Clemson beating Tennessee in the Orange Bowl, so hopefully things work out like that again. But the next matchup is going to be TCU versus Oral Roberts. Both teams have had incredible runs so far, especially Oral Roberts. They went 2-1 in their Super Regional against Oregon, and one of their games against Oregon, it was 8-0 at the 4th inning.
Dang.
And Oregon came back and won 9-8. Insane. I remember
about
seeing
a choke.
Yeah. But hey, it paid off. They're going to the College World Series. Oral Roberts, man. It's so funny to see them because I didn't know anything about them until, that March Madness, and now they're in the College World Series, so props to them. The next, I think, is going to be the biggest of any of these games.
Yeah, I know this one.
Virginia versus Florida.
John, man, he's so humble about when his teams are doing good. That's the most annoying thing.
Well, John, I don't know, because he still has been very cocky about this Gators team.
Yeah, but I remember said as long as they got here, they should be proud of that. Blah blah. The thing he does when his teams make the playoffs, he does it with every team. Hey, I'm just proud we got this far. Wasn't expecting it. Blah blah blah.
Wasn't expecting it. They're a 2 seed. It's crazy, bro. What I wasn't expecting, and which I'm so glad didn't happen, is Vandy didn't even have a super regional. Thank God. That's so funny. But yeah, Virginia versus Florida, 7 versus 2, and it's gonna be absolutely insane. Virginia arguably could have, lost their super regional against Duke. I think Duke was a very, very solid team. All props to them. This will be the best matchup. And for TCU versus Oral Roberts, I'm going to say Oral Roberts just because why not? They got Oral in the name, and they've, done stuff.
Pause.
In the March Madness. So
I mean, TCU, National Championship, College World Series.
Maybe, but if it's anything like the National Championship, I don't have high hopes. But with Virginia versus Florida, it's a toss-up. I think this one could go either way. I think that, Florida, they swept South Carolina. Wasn't a close game at the beginning for their game 1 against South Carolina. I thought they were going to lose, but Florida did come back and they won. They have a very, very good team this year. So I won't be surprised if Florida.
These are two good baseball schools too.
Yeah. And I would say Florida wins this series.
Yeah, I'm going to go Florida.
Yeah, I think that I can definitely see them advancing. Now, the last one is Stanford and Wake Forest. Now, the thing you got to know, and I think I sent it to you. I don't know if you really saw it. Texas-Stanford game. Did you see it?
No.
Texas-Stanford, which I'm glad you didn't because I can tell the viewers. Texas versus Stanford came down. It was 6-6, 2 outs, bases loaded. Okay? Last inning, by the way. Texas had a routine pop fly.
Oh no, I did see it. I saw this as a clip on TikTok. Get going. I did see this.
Routine pop fly, and 3 of their outfielders got caught in the lights.
And they just all dropped it.
So
I did see that.
Stanford won 7-6.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to lose.
That is so heartbreaking, bro. That is entirely heartbreaking.
That locker room with the coach. Oh, wow, he was definitely pissed.
Routine pop fly, bro. It's like they never. It's like, oh,
It's
they
like
got
that-
blinded by the lights. How?
Good song.
Yeah, good song. Now, was this their first time ever playing a night? Like, you can't blame that.
I mean, the A's did it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it does happen. I know that it does happen, but oh man, that's pretty embarrassing. We don't even have a MLB segment in here, but the A's.
And we'll give a little credit to the A's. They're on a 7-game win streak right now. Take 2 games from the Rays. Never been a prouder A's fan.
Hey, we finally playing a real team.
Hey, their fans are finally show up with the reverse boycott.
I just remember my text to you, A's fans realizing they can keep their team if they actually show up. Like how
They have the biggest stadium in the MLB, yet it still wasn't like filled or anything. Just sell the team shirts and like all.
Yeah.
It's funny that these fans just like finally show up when they're on the verge of losing the team, but they're still gonna lose it at the end of the day.
Yep, the Vegas Athletics are happening, bro. But as far as the Stanford and Wake Forest series does go,
I'm gonna go Wake Forest. I've seen a lot about this team.
so the thing you got to know, Wake Forest is number 1 in the nation right now in baseball, which is absolutely insane. Also, they beat Tennessee's little brother Alabama, 22-5. Yeah, if people are watching this, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying that, but we did own Bama this year.
Jay.
Yeah, of course. And with Wake Forest, they beat Alabama 22-5 in their deciding game to advance to the World Series. But the thing you got to know, Mike, is in the College World Series there is a curse. There's a curse of the 1 seed.
Oh yeah. I know about this one with like
And-
Tennessee last year.
Yeah, it happens every year pretty much. I don't think I can't really tell you off the top of my head, but it's been a while since a 1 seed has won. And also, we've got to meet a lot of cool Stanford people this year through the podcast, so I think I'm gonna go Stanford on this one.
We have met a lot of Stanford there. I feel like Stanford like just loves our podcast.
We love them, bro.
Sorry, but I'm going Wake Forest, breaking the curse.
Well, I mean, they still haven't won the whole thing. They just have to get past this round.
Yeah,
to
I
go to
know.
the next one.
I think they can break the curse though.
We'll see. I don't know about that. I mean, it would be cool if they did, but I really don't want them to. So that's pretty much it for the College World Series. It starts this Friday, as I've already mentioned, so I don't really know exactly when it ends, but we'll probably be covering it on our next one if there's still games going on or the winner. But we'll move into our next segment, Around the League NHL Playoff Update. The Stanley Cup winner was decided last night as we were filming this, and I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy.
I'm happy, and we called it. We called it with John, but they smacked the Panthers 9-3 last night.
It was sad.
It was the final like couple minutes, and they scored another goal.
I know, bro. It was like a minute 30 left. I see them score again. I'm like, dude, why? That's pretty disrespectful.
They were just having a good time out there
Yeah.
last night. A gentleman's sweep. Looks a lot like the NBA, but we'll get to that in a second. Miami, disappointing. I mean, not disappointing. Yes, disappointing, but not disappointing. These teams were not expected to go to their championships.
Well, it was funny, too. Both 8 seeds, both playing against a 1 seed.
Both Miami teams.
I know. Script writers, bro. You can't write a better script.
They knew what they were doing. They knew.
But as far as, the Vegas series goes, props to them. Their first Stanley Cup in 6 years, which is crazy enough because their owner predicted it. Their owner predicted the Stanley Cup winner whenever the franchise got made. He said, he said, my original prediction is 7 years for us to win. And then he re-quoted himself and said, I think that it's going to be 6 years. And they did it in 6 years.
He just knew the script, bro.
Bro, he got the script early. And the crazy thing was he even predicted the first time they go to the playoffs. He said first 3 years will make the playoffs. They did.
They made it to the Stanley Cup even.
Exactly. I mean, absolutely insane. And I just love freezing cold takes on Instagram. And they posted the whole thing where it's like, hockey will never work in Vegas. And they sure enough did it.
They're a winning franchise right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
They're a winning franchise.
Sadly, the Raiders will not be.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But, yeah, I mean, absolutely insane series for the Vegas Golden Knights, and I'm happy. A lot of people are like, why are you happy? A Florida team lost. It's because they're rivals with the Lightning. Why would I be happy about that?
The only reason you said you would be happy is that it's the Florida team.
Yeah, exactly. And I was already happy enough that they went to the Stanley Cup, and I was like, I'm happy that they went, but let's let Vegas win. One.
Let Vegas get there first.
And I don't know if you saw too, but the Maple Leaf curse is still kind of around. The past 4 teams that have beaten the Maple Leafs, or past, how many years they've been there, they've lost the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I've seen that too. But we'll see what happens next year. See if the Golden Knights can do it again. I mean, they tend to make the playoffs a lot throughout their entire career as a franchise, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win another one in the next few years.
So, how many years till the Kraken?
3.
Really?
I mean, they're looking like the Golden Knights, already coming off of the playoffs, doing good for a new franchise. Hopefully, they can win one soon. I'd love to see them win one.
Yeah, as long as that playoffs, the Preds and the Lightning aren't there, I'll be happy.
And the Bruins.
Well, the Bruins are lucky enough to even go.
All right, next topic. Around the league NBA playoff update. The Nuggets have won their first championship in franchise history with the gentleman's sweep. Where was playoff Jimmy in that game?
Before we get to that, it's also funny too. First ever finals for them.
Yeah, first ever finals.
And they also, I think, they have the most ever playoff wins, which
that's
is
funny.
just crazy in itself that's a thing. But it is, and they did it. They did it, and this was a finals where I didn't care who won. It was one of the ones where it's like I wouldn't mind anybody winning.
Yeah, I would like to see Jimmy get a ring. I would like to see Jokic get a ring. And I always say I'd rather have the Nuggets win because I like Jokic and I'm a casual or something along those lines. But now he is most definitely, in my opinion, a top 6 center, at least in NBA history.
Yeah, I'm putting him at 6 or 7. I mean, the sole fact that no other center is doing what he's doing ever, like in the history of the NBA. He's a point guard at center, which is crazy to say. I mean, if Jokic can rack up 2 or 3 rings his entire career, we could be having him in like top 10 talks.
Yeah, he definitely could. And he's just not the flashiest player. That's why like people like look at like Giannis and stuff over him. He was last picked in the All-Star game.
The villain arc.
Bro, man went villain, literally Joker. And he's so humble about it.
I know. I love Jokic, bro. Like, I actually love him so much. He was sad he had to go to the celebration parade.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. He's like, man wanted to go home, but has to wait till Thursday. Like, when's the parade? Thursday. Oh
no, I need to go home. I need to go home.
You can go home Friday. Okay. Just the Russian like accent. Okay.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's so funny, just to see him like celebrating and stuff, and like the whole like champagne like thing after you win the finals. Bro looks so unenthusiastic.
Yeah, he like right after they won, he didn't like celebrate. He went and shook the hand of every player. The respect that man has, it's insane.
Yeah, I know, and it is funny. I mean, like you said, he's not a flashy player, so he doesn't really get as much credit as he really does, or as he really should.
He doesn't get all those clips that all like Ja Morant.
Because I mean, I even remember when Jokic won his first MVP. I still kind of was like, who really is this guy?
Yeah.
I was like, who? Then he won another, and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe he's legit. And then this season, I was like full in on it on the Jokic. But also Jamal Murray's story is just incredible as well. Dealing with all those ACL tears, and like he said himself, he thinks that they could have been in that position way before if he didn't tear his ACL.
They definitely could have too.
Yeah,
Jokic is definitely the best center in the league. Like, that's not even a question. I don't even care if people say Joel Embiid. Jokic should have won MVP.
And I think even now, I could be wrong, but I would feel that the people who were full in on Joel deserving the MVP this year kind of have maybe switched their thoughts.
Exactly. Like that. Without Jokic, that Nuggets team isn't even make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the team itself, you really only think Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
If you actually watch, you're thinking KCP and Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon, which is their starting lineup. But when you really are a casual, you're thinking more with like 76ers would have a better shot. They have James Harden.
Yeah,
they have
James Harden,
one of the best players ever to play, honestly. I mean,
Tobias Harris,
Tyrese Maxey. I mean, we're talking about like a very solid team. And what's funny about this Nuggets team is like I keep finding like I've been a casual this year for as far as the regular season goes, and it's funny how like how many different people I was like, oh, they're on the Nuggets, what? Like, especially like DeAndre Jordan and
Yeah, I remember when he was like, when did DeAndre Jordan go to the Nuggets?
yeah, and Ish Smith. I think I did kind of knew Ish Smith was on there, but I wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, and that reminds me, DeAndre Jordan, first from Lob City to get a ring.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Bro beat Chris Paul.
Chris Paul will probably never get that ring.
But I mean, at one point, DeAndre Jordan arguably top 3 center in the league.
At a point.
Like during the Lob City days, 2014, 2015.
Top 3, yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
At least top 5. I mean, back in the day, like
definitely top 5.
He was all that. I mean, I don't really think he played. I didn't see him play in the playoffs this year. I think he was just a role player. Like
he was he was definitely a bench player. Came in if needed. I didn't really see him play that much in the playoffs, honestly. But he got the job done.
Yeah, it's good to see like the Nuggets doing it. They play, the Nuggets, most of this team was acquired through like trades from some people that were like Aaron Gordon, for example. Really good player on the Magic, but kind of undersold because of being on the Magic, being an 8th seed all the time. And Jokic and Jamal Murray both drafted. I think it feels 10 times better for any fan when the team wins from people that drafted them, other than people in these super teams. And this gets to my next point. Like, no super team won, which is very, very good for the league itself. Them, like this exact team beating the Suns, that just shows that they deserve this even more. And I'm very excited for them. But as far as the Heat go, let's talk about the Heat. Enough glazing the Nuggets. Let's talk about the Heat.
Where was playoff Jimmy in that game?
Where has playoff Jimmy really been? Like, especially in the like Celtics series, what I've noticed is, he like the whole playoff Jimmy thing, which I think that he is a top playoff performer.
Yeah, no doubt.
But where has he really been until like late in the game for a lot of these games?
Yeah, like I remember at the beginning. So I didn't watch the beginning of the game, but I looked at like I had it on my phone, and he was like 2 for 12 in the field goals at a point in the game.
His shooting it up and like trying to kick into the player just isn't working.
Yeah, I mean at the end of the game he had 21 points, which is good. It's good, but he was 5 from 18 from field goal.
Yeah, I will say this, and this is gonna make you have a big old smile on your face. Throughout, I don't know if it's this playoff or just in general, but Jason Tatum actually has a better stat line than Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I did see that. There was I saw this thing. It was comparing this year's Jimmy Butler to finals performance for last year's Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum got a bunch of hate last year. And it was from the Boston fan page. Of course, he was like, "I swear to God, if I don't see Jimmy Butler getting as much hate as Tatum got last year, this is some bullshit."
Of course he's saying that, bro. Like,
I mean, I think it's funny.
Any fan like would definitely say that. And also with B Diehards, he posted. I had reposted the thing that he said. He was like, "Bro, I bet the Bruins are beating themselves up in the like after seeing this Stanley Cup and all this." I'm like, they still would have lost. I don't know what you're on about, but I mean, yeah. But as far I saw some TikTok. I think that they're like moderately kind of famous. I think they have like 10,000 followers on TikTok or whatever, and like they were basically just like bashing Jimmy. And I don't really think he deserves that. I think that, this team shouldn't have even really gone to the finals when you really think about it. They lost their first play-in game and then they came into the finals as a like 8th seed.
Yep.
And, even after beating the Bucks, they're still being called kind of frauds. Like maybe just the Bucks weren't ready. Then they beat the Knicks, deserved. Then they beat the Celtics, which went to a crazy good series. And, they got over that hump, but now you're playing a real team. Like, they're all real teams. I'm sorry. Now you're playing, like a good team that has like an MVP kind of like guy on there. I mean, I'm sorry, but Jason Tatum didn't in top 5 in MVP the voting this year. So, I mean, Jokic should have won MVP, arguably. And, you're playing against him. And I think that they weren't ready. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't think they were ready. Just like they weren't ready against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know. The only thing that is going to get them over that hump is if they get Damian Lillard. If they get Damian Lillard,
Or Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, or Kyrie. But I wouldn't get Kyrie if I were
wouldn't get
them.
Kyrie.
I would get a team player like Dame. 100%.
I don't think Kyrie and Jimmy Butler would match well together at all, in my opinion.
Shit would be wild, bro. Like maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't.
Because I feel
maybe Jimmy would.
Jimmy is the leader of that team. I feel like Kyrie would come in thinking he would be the leader.
Yeah, he's always got that mentality, bro. And I don't know if you've also seen, but like Kyrie told LeBron to go to the Mavs.
Yeah, I did see that.
Then LeBron said he'll think about it.
The Mavs did try to trade. Like they put they tried to call up the Lakers. The Lakers weren't going to trade him. But I did see that.
If anything, Lakers need to trade AD.
Lakers, yeah, they honestly, if I was Lakers, I would start exploring options for LeBron because he's getting older. He's gonna want to leave if he's still playing when his son plays because they're not gonna get the first pick. Like if they do, then I would start thinking there's a script. I knew how you were saying that. I was like, Lakers getting the first pick and they made the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that probably wouldn't happen.
So if they were smart, they can still get a shit ton of shit from LeBron. They can get a lot from AD, and then they just build from the ground up.
I think that, a trade to the Mavs wouldn't be bad. I'd say it, but I would like watching it. LeBron, Kyrie, and Luka.
That would be an awesome watch. That'd be a really fun team to watch. Even though I don't really like Kyrie, it'd still be cool with like Luka and LeBron. But I don't know. I don't think that'll happen then at the end of the day. But
hey, Jokic finally got his ring. Maybe one of these days in a few seasons, maybe Luka gets a ring. Maybe that MVP that he's. It's funny because I kind of compare like Luka Doncic to Josh Allen. Always in the MVP talks, never wins.
Dude, that you're actually really right with that. But you know a duo I'd love to see together?
Who?
Jokic and Luka.
Yeah, of course.
That would be a really good duo.
Yeah, man.
Like, just imagine Luka goes to Denver, Jamal Murray, Luka, and
that's
Jokic.
A dynasty right
there.
That
right there, you're winning multiple championships as long as you keep them three together. Because they're all team players. They're all not hated. None of them are hated.
But they would be.
They would be hated. They would start to be hated. I personally wouldn't hate them because I just love all three of them. They're one of my favorite players is Jokic, Luka. They're like top 5 for me.
Yeah, I definitely have them up there. My main guy's kind of been going through some stuff, so I don't really know if I can really say that.
He just had to show him up, bro.
Speaking of that, where is Adam Silver? I thought we were supposed to wait for the end of the finals for him to say it.
It'll probably be this week. It'll probably be something this week.
I'm sure it will, but I was kind of expecting it like day after.
I wasn't. They want to give the Nuggets. They'll probably be honestly Friday after the parade. Yeah. But it was a toy gun, he said.
It was, bro. It was a toy gun. Really, bro? We get in trouble for toy guns now. Are you serious?
Dog, it was literally just a Nerf gun spray painted.
Bro, I'm with him, bro. If he says it is,
I believe him.
We live in America. Innocent until proven guilty.
That is true. So all right, but let's just stick with NBA and head into our Mount Rushmore. Which is greatest NBA coaches of all time. Do you want me to go first or you?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right. With the first one, we're going to both have them. It's Phil Jackson. The most head coach championship wins with 11. Three-peat with 2 franchises. He has the highest winning percentage at 70.4. The most playoff wins with 229 and most seasons without a losing season, which is 20, and he's also a one-time coach of the year. My next one, Greg Popovich, obviously. 5-time champ, 3-time coach of the year, 3rd most playoff wins with 170, most career wins, and counting, by the way, because he's still a coach, 1,300 plus. Then he has most seasons with 50-plus wins, which is 19. And the next one I have is Pat Riley. He's a 5-time champ, 3-time coach of the year, 5th most career wins with 1,210. Sixth highest winning percentage at 63.6%. And that's all time. And then my last one is Red Auerbach, 9-time champ, most consecutive championships with 8. Tied for the second most head coaching championships with 9 of any sport. And then he's the 1965 Coach of the Year, which that award was actually named after him. And then my honorable mention is Steve Kerr.
Yeah, we actually have, a lot of the same. We kind of went over this beforehand of filming, but obviously Phil Jackson, whenever you lead a, 2 three-peats, it's hard to end. You also coach Kobe. There's nothing like that goes against that. A man has so many rings. It's actually crazy. On top of the ones he won himself as a player.
Yeah.
So honestly, I remember kind of getting into NBA and I saw Phil Jackson coaching the Knicks. And I was like, why isn't this team good? He had Carmelo and all that. But I don't know what happened. Things do kind of die down. But Greg Popovich is my second. You've said all the stats that need to be said. Greg is obviously an all-time great head coach. It's going to be sad the day that he retires. Another reason why it was rigged for Wemby to go there. But it's going to be exciting to see one of the best current head coaches leading this generational talent. And we'll see what happens there. I'm excited. Greg Popovich is obviously an all-time great. Next up, I'm going to go with Pat Riley as well. Obviously, this guy is just an insane, not only coach, but also just look at what he's done with the Heat right now. Mm-hmm. He knows exactly what he's doing with players, and it is so impressive. Also coached Magic Johnson, Kareem. When you coach these all-time greats, you're obviously going to rack up some wins, some rings. So put Pat Riley on there. But I'm going to take your honorable mention and use it in my list, Steve Kerr. And that goes for the sole fact of the dynasty that he's created with the Warriors in modern day basketball. Now, don't get me wrong. Red is an entirely great coach, but he may have arguably been piggybacked by Bill Russell. So that's that. But, and also you could say Steve Kerr was piggybacked by his players.
That's all I was about to say.
Well, but it's a little different. You're going up against modern day NBA. I think modern day NBA, like you can, the old heads can argue the 90s to now. I agree with that. You can argue that. But the 60s, come on. The 60s to modern day, they still had like segregated water fountains. Like, don't even get me started about that. Like, there's no way that you can compare the two. But I do respect your list, obviously. And he's a great coach. That award was even named after him. So, give me Steve Kerr. I don't have all the wins and everything like that, but his game speaks for himself.
The best season in NBA history.
Exactly, right there. 73-9. He's coached some greats. And think about this too. Even without Kevin Durant there, he still won the NBA championship last year. Mm-hmm. He's a great coach, and I don't think he's anywhere near being done. I won't be surprised if, one of these days, we'll see how long he coaches, obviously, but I feel like whenever the Steph days are over, he might actually go somewhere else. Kind of like Phil, Phil Jackson moving on. And that's my Mount Rushmore. But I do want to mention, it's funny that you say Phil Jackson only won one Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
It happens, though. Like, there's great coaches that don't win. And that goes with any sport, though.
Yeah, and there are great coaches that win and then don't win the finals.
Yeah, because they can be
this year.
They can be great coaches, but there might have been like coaches that year that made more impressive seasons. All around all time is different from like a season.
Exactly, especially like just NFL. I know this is NBA, but NFL, you got Brian Dable who won, but it should have been Andy Reid. If you're looking at record. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at who the best teams were, should have been Andy Reid. But you always look at who has improved the team the most.
Yeah,
and I do respect that and agree.
Who they're coaching, like the players they have, what they did with that team.
Yeah.
So there's more that goes into the Coach of the Year, which I respect more. So.
Yeah, which is why Bruce Brown won this last year.
Like that Kings team, outstanding. It wouldn't have done without him. So we have two solid lists, greatest NBA coaches of all time, but we're going to head in to around the league, NFL. There's actually quite a bit of news going on right now, and let's start off with the biggest news, which is Baby Gronk getting called out all over the place.
Dude, I can't even believe we're putting this in NFL news, but I mean, his name is based
Baby-
off an NFL player.
Baby Gronk. Wow.
Should us? I mean, we kind of knew that. We kind of know this.
We've had some inside sources
Yeah.
tell us some stuff, but we won't get into that unless they release it. But
People are like, man, y'all are faking it, but no, we know someone who interviewed Baby Gronk. If you guys know us, you'll be able to connect the dots. But somebody interviewed Baby Gronk, and we had known about this actually. And this is the craziest thing was we had known about this, and then like the week after all this kind of went down, it's everywhere now. Like, and the person who interviewed that we know, they didn't expose anything. Nothing was exposed from them. But the fact that like it's everywhere now.
but she told us exactly like stuff that like what happened inside of it, which was it was just funny to see how now it's just all coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's struggling to get on any podcast, so maybe we should get him on.
But I mean, that dad's bold going with the Pardon My Take and then all these big name podcasts.
Like his texts say, he's blowing up.
We blowing up. We getting on a bunch of these big podcasts.
I mean, the thing is with Baby Gronk, you know, it's everywhere right now, right? It's all over your TikTok feed. That's good.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity. I mean, but to be totally honest, I feel bad for him. Like
Yeah.
the kid. Like it kind of from my perspective, it seems like the dad is just using his kid to get
Yeah.
cha-ching.
You know, I'm not going to like dog on them or anything like that because sitting here behind the screen, I don't know the full details of what's going on. Like maybe, like, I mean,
I'm just saying what it looks like.
obviously, like Baby Gronk, you know, you see him in these interviews, he looks sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he does like it. And it's just like he doesn't want to do it. That he's 10 years old. Do you think he wants to be doing interviews all day? No, he wants to be playing Madden. Like that's
Playing football.
yeah. And I mean that's the thing too. This thing is so out there, you know, with advertising, the marketing. Which props to his dad. He's done a great job at it. I'm just gonna say. I mean, he's done everything he sought out to do. Just now it's kind of getting out there, and you know people are gonna have their different takes on it. So it's up to anyone's point of view and their own opinion. I'm not in his shoes. I don't know what's going on. But, you know, as far as this goes, I mean, if you're listening, you all know Baby Gronk, right? Do you know his real name? Because I didn't until our person we knew interviewed him.
Yeah, I didn't either. That like when I would look up his name on Instagram, like it's not Baby Gronk is his handle. I looked up Baby Gronk and I couldn't find him for a second until I found it when they sent it to us.
Yeah.
But
So, you know, it's something to think about. But the real story here is Baby Gronk Livy Rizda Baby Gronk.
bro, Andrew, my brother, was telling me last night how Livy was risen up Baby Gronk.
This is big.
That is big, bro. Like
She even gave him a hug.
lucky little.
Um,
But I mean, she's recruiting for LSU. Apparently, he's getting all these offers from colleges. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too I want to talk about. I don't believe jack shit with these offers.
No, obviously, it's like like the schools do it. Like they don't actually offer, but they say they offer like for publicity and stuff. Obviously, but
and you know the thing is like for Baby Gronk, like now that this is his life, this is his entire life, and he may have low key choose it for himself, but I think from what we've heard, you know, the dad kind of chose it for him. I'm sure he loves football.
yeah,
But this whole life of being out there, he's got to prepare. Like, it's so hard to say this for a 10-year-old, but you need to put in the work like every single day because when you get to high school,
you need to show out.
Yeah, you need to show out. I mean, do you want to be made fun of for the rest of your life for all this stuff that's happened whenever you were 10 years old?
What if he falls out of love for the game because of all this stuff early? What if he doesn't want to even play football when he gets to high school?
I mean, I'm not gonna like say that's not gonna happen because with, you know, helicopter parents and, you know, parents who force their dream onto their kid, things like that happen. Like they happen all the time. It's got to be Baby Gronk's full on devotion to the sport and everything like that. So maybe it will happen and that'll be sad, but
And maybe we'll see him in the league one day.
it should be crazy, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so much you could really talk about with Baby Gronk, but you know,
segment for another day.
yeah, his counterpart though, Baby Diggs. You gotta love this guy. You gotta love this guy.
Baby Diggs over Baby Gronk. Not saying it
Yeah.
until Baby Gronk comes onto our podcast. But
The thing is, like, with Baby Diggs and Baby Gronk, like, everybody, I love it. You know, it's the memes, bro. It's like Baby Diggs over Baby Gronk. But I'm not throwing any shade on Baby Gronk. He's 10 years old. You know, if I had to choose, I go Diggs. And that's just because he's just funny. Like, I feel like with, like, and that's something against Baby Gronk because his dad's telling him what to say. With Baby Diggs, he's saying whatever the frick he wants to say, bro. He's like, it's a parade inside my city, yeah. Like, bro, it's so funny. And I mean, but a guy you got to watch out for, Mike. Baby Megatron.
I've seen that now coming up now. Baby Megatron. God, it's just like it's a new trend, dude. It's starting to become just a trend. Next, we're gonna see like a quarterback, Baby Brady or something like that. Why'd you look at me like that,
Bro, I wish I had a kid. I'd make a Baby Brady.
Yo, let's just adopt one.
Yo, let's adopt like a 5-year-old, making Baby Brady.
Or Baby Allen, Baby Mahomes, something like that.
Baby
Anyways.
Mahomes, yeah. I'm sure those are out there already.
Yeah,
honestly, they just haven't blown up yet.
Yeah, they just haven't blown up. But yeah, let's move on to other actual news that are going around in the NFL. The biggest one that's happened the past week was Dalvin Cook getting released by Minnesota. Surprising? No, it's been rumored a lot lately. So
that was rumored even going into last season.
mm-hmm.
And the thing with Dalvin Cook and, you know, all the destinations, the rumored destinations, out of all of them, I think the Dolphins is most likely to happen. And that's not only because it's been rumored that he'd go to the Dolphins since last year, but also, I may be looking too deep into it, but that's what we do here on this podcast. He posted an Instagram story with a sunglasses emoji. Tell me that isn't.
And he also
sunny
posted
Miami.
one in a picture of the stadium, like him inside the stadium.
Oh, really? I didn't even. Okay,
Yeah.
he's definitely going to Miami now.
But then there's people saying he's going to go to the Bills to play with his brother or cousin, brother, right? James Cook's his brother.
I think.
I'm pretty sure it's his brother. Don't quote me. It's either his brother or his cousin. I'm pretty sure it's his brother, but personally, if I was his brother, I wouldn't want him to do that because then you're stuck behind him.
Yeah.
You're not right now. I mean, they have Damian Harris now, a good running back. Don't get me wrong, but James Cook also he could be really good. So,
but if Dalvin goes, I think.
Yeah,
you know, you could look at the Bills and be like, "Oh, running backs are a missing piece, bro." I don't know what their missing piece is because even if they still had Frank Gore, I think they'd still be that level in the division.
Yeah, and they have a good Devin Singletary. He had his moments. They did upgrade, in my opinion. I not coming from a biased fan. I think Damian Harris is better than Devin Singletary.
I agree.
And they upgraded right there. And Devin Singletary, don't get me wrong, he's good. He's running back 2 material, in my opinion. He's RB2. He'll be a good RB2.
Yeah, he is. Like, even with him being an RB1 on the Bills, he's still like a bench player in fantasy.
Yeah.
And I mean, does come for the sole fact that you have Josh Allen and Diggs. You're not going to get a lot of running plays.
And Gabe Davis. And
yeah,
it's a receiving team.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I don't blame them for, you know, not really worrying too much about the running back position. That's another reason why I think Dalvin's not going there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's not. I mean, you could say that too with the Dolphins with Tyreek. But, I mean, all the issues with Tua, they're going to be giving the ball up to a good running back as well. And arguably the missing piece in Miami is running back position.
They've had to deal with what? Like Chase Edmonds,
Myles Gaskin.
Yeah.
All these players. I mean, they're solid running backs. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're good, but they're not like running back one.
Yeah. And I mean, Dalvin Cook is still a really good running back.
He's arguably a top 5 running back.
Yeah. I mean, not last season.
Oh, yeah. Not like he deals with injuries. That's the thing. He can get injured easily, which is fitting for the Dolphins. But their players get injured a lot. It's an injury-prone team, it seems like. But it'll be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, another thing in the news, speaking of the Bills, the whole Diggs thing.
Yep. Stephon Diggs not showing up to the mandatory camps. It's funny on Jade sent us. It's funny that they call him mandatory and all these players don't go.
Yeah.
Just Frank Clark, I'm pretty sure, isn't going. Right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's called mandatory.
No, I mean, Frank Clark went to the Broncos. There's another player that didn't show up at the Chiefs.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He was a defensive tackle. But,
Yeah.
It's called mandatory, but you don't got to go, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you do get fined, I'm pretty sure, by the team. I mean, the team doesn't have, like, they can say they find you, but they might not find you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's Stephon Diggs.
And Sean McDermott did say today that the issues have been resolved.
Yeah, it was like I saw, like, the agent was even saying that they're resolving it. It's just a small little issue between them. But we saw it coming, in my opinion, like, after over and over again losing the playoffs.
And after Diggs stormed off and didn't even go to the locker room.
Yeah. That his teammate had to bring him back. But
I get the frustration, but that's not like being a team player.
Yeah, no, it's like it sucks. I get it. But you're on the Bills. They don't tend to win.
They're cursed, dude. You decided to join them.
You joined a cursed team. I mean, as a receiver, what more can you get? You're on honestly like a super team in the NFL with arguably a top 3 quarterback in the league. Where else are you going to go that can get better than that? I mean, there's nothing you can do. The
Chiefs.
Yeah, you could go to the Chiefs. That is better. But honestly, I mean, another better place, Patriots is always an option. That's it's a joke. Okay,
I got it. I can tell it's a joke for sure.
But speaking of the Patriots, DeAndre Hopkins is visiting the Patriots this week.
He's also visiting like a whole other team.
I know. I'm just happy. Can I not be happy? It could happen. Probably not, but it could happen.
It could, bro. I mean, Kraft and Belichick brought in Moss.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But other big news: Frank Clark. I said he signed with the Broncos, and something cool to see is that J.J. Watt is to be inducted into the Texans Ring of Honor.
As he should.
As he should. He is, like, honestly, face of that franchise. Like, the best thing to come out of that franchise. Other than, I mean, you could say Deshaun Watson, but DeAndre Hopkins, you could say. But, I mean, not Frank, like, J.J. Watt. Oh, my God, I'm still over my words.
I think D-Hop is a better example than Deshaun.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that, but Deshaun Watson with all that, you don't really want him saying as you're facing the best thing coming out of your franchise with all the controversies that come with him. JJ Watt's like nothing, like he's.
What controversies is D-Hop?
No, I'm saying Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said D-Hop would be a better option.
Yeah,
for the face of the franchise.
Oh yeah, but I think JJ Watt's the best option for the best thing to come out of your franchise. Multiple defensive player of the years, not controversial at all. Everyone, like, he's probably a very loved player all around the league.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, when you're on the Texans, what villainy can you really have?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But I'm excited to see that that's happening to him. He's a great player, and it's just good to see.
Yeah, no other really comment about that, honestly.
Yeah, is anything else around the league, NFL?
Not that I can really think of. No.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll head into our next segment, which is the countdown, our most hateable players in the NFL, but honestly, for both of us, it was pretty difficult because in the NFL, I don't really hate a lot of players.
Yeah. It's like you could dislike some, but there's no real person that you're just like, bro, I hate this guy. Like for you, it could be like in the NBA, you hate fucking Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I do hate Joel Embiid.
But like with NFL, it's like I don't really hate a lot of these guys. I mean, like,
and it's like with this, my number one, I don't like him, but I hate him because of his fans. It's like that's why I hate this player. Yeah. But we'll just get it started. You want to go first or me?
I'll go first. So, do you want to like go through our whole list, or do you want to go like 5, 4 together?
Oh, you want to copy the uppercut?
Yeah.
All right, we can do that. Yeah, we'll start with your 5.
All right. So at my 5, I got Chase Claypool. And, Chase Claypool, especially on the Steelers, kind of rooting for the Browns. You don't obviously like the Steelers. And, dude, I just remember him and Juju so cringy and lame. It's so stupid. And then, like, whenever Chase got traded to the Bears, And there's that stupid pass where he gets past it just bounces like right off him. He doesn't even realize what happened. I did love that. I love seeing that for sure.
Because he was like so hyped up by Steelers fans that in this rookie year, it was a good rookie year. He had a lot of touchdowns. But yeah, at my 5, I hate to say it because he's on the Patriots now, but I gotta put Juju with honestly the same reason he like the TikTok. It's just so cringe. I am not excited for that to come to the Patriots, and I honestly don't think it's gonna last long with Bill Belichick. I don't think like Bill would want that. Like doesn't want that like that shit in the locker room, and it's so fucking cringe. Like I like Juju. Like I do like Juju, but just the. Literally, it's so cringe.
What the cringiest part about it is him doing it on the logo and then them losing.
Yeah, that's the most cringy part. That is now on the Patriots, but
hey, bro, they got the gritty Kings on there.
Mike Gesicki, Mac Jones. It'll be
TikTok worthy team, bro. Their marketing is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, they honestly will get a lot of marketing with all these dances. You can have multiple different gritty gods on that team.
Dude, imagine like Gesicki, like all three of them just hitting the gritty like after a touchdown. That's gonna be all over NFL news.
All right, let's go to your number 4.
All right, my number 4, I have Mason Rudolph. I'm going back to back with previous Steelers players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really know where this guy's at right now.
He's still a backup on the Steelers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so Mason Rudolph. After you call my boy Myles Garrett the N-word, bro, and you get a helmet to the head, like that's deserved, bro. And like you said before this, he has a punchable face. He just does, man. He looks so stupid. I'm glad Myles Garrett did what he did, bro.
The intrusive thoughts won.
They did. I remember watching that game live too. I'm like, oh shit, what is happening right now? But yeah, just don't like that guy. There's nothing more I can say.
At my number 4, this one, it's like I don't hate him yet, but I know I'm gonna hate him. Aaron Rodgers, because he's coming to my division now. There's the Jets Patriots are probably the biggest rivalry in that division, and he's gonna make it bad, especially because when he was with the Bears, saying I own
you, and then he said I still own you.
I just know as a fan it's gonna make me hate him now. It's like Tom Brady is now a Tom Brady type player is now entering your division and he's not on your team, which is not fun.
Yeah,
and but I don't hate him yet, but I have a feeling I will hate him. But that's my number 4.
All right, fair enough. At my number 3, I'm agreeing with you, Aaron Rodgers. I like to joke about him, especially the long hair, the weird haircuts he's had, the shrooms. I mean, there's a lot of jokes with him.
The blackout where he just went off of.
Yeah. And, the whole, I own you thing, I actually like that. I actually love that video so much. I still own you to the Bears fans. That makes me like him a little bit. But, I don't like him for the sole fact that, he doesn't treat his fans well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk from different fans who have met him that said he's just rude in person and stuff like that. And I think that any athlete in any league does not need to be rude to any fans. Fans is what makes the game. Fans is what makes you money. Yeah. So why are you going to be rude to the people that support you through thick and thin, buy your last name on the back of their jersey? There's just no place for that, and that's why I have Aaron Rodgers there.
Yeah. At my number 3, I agree with you on one of yours. It's Mason Rudolph. Like I said, I told Nick before, he just has a punchable face, and I can just it's just something about him. It's just one of those guys that you just don't like when you look at him. It's like I don't know him personally. I don't know him like that, so he could be a really cool guy, but just
dude, based off his he's not a cool guy. He's not.
And then he did that slur with Myles Garrett. And then that picture, it had to hurt, but that is such a good picture. It's so funny. Bro, you probably had to be scared seeing Myles Garrett run at him, dude.
Yeah.
But
which I will say this for you guys listening, it wasn't fully confirmed he said anything, but I'm just gonna take Myles Garrett's side.
I'm more of a Browns fan, so I'm gonna take Myles Garrett's side on this. But yeah, Mason, and he's on the Steelers. I just don't like the Steelers.
Yeah.
Our old friend, does like the Steelers from high school.
Oh yeah. But, and Luke on the uppercut, he's a big Steelers fan.
Oh yeah, he is a Steelers fan. But yeah,
but he's actually like a decent Steelers fan. Like, what's funny with Luke is he likes some teams that I just don't like the Gators, Steelers, but he's like manageable, you know, like I don't really have any issues with him.
Yeah.
Other than one time whenever it was scheduled for the Gators to play UCF, which has been canceled now. They're supposed to have like a back-to-back home series. And this was after the Gasparilla Bowl, and he was like, "It's all right, we're gonna beat you like both of those next years and all that shit." And now their team is like in shambles. So
and our team's joining the Big 12.
yeah, exactly. And that's for another show. We need to. Which speaking of that, in the future we might have like specifically just like UCF shows, kind of like actually talk about stuff like that. But moving further,
Number two
for me, is Michael's King. Mac Jones. And the whole reason that I couldn't really think of anyone else, like, it's not that I really don't like the guy.
Mike King.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because he's your quarterback.
Yeah, but Mike King will always and forever be Tom Brady.
Okay, well, he looks better in a Bucs uniform. Anyways,
okay,
Mac Jones.
buddy. Okay.
Mac Jones is on here because, number one, he's just a pansy, bro. Have you seen the video of him doing like that? Like, bro, that shit is stupid. He looks like, what makes him look like more of a pansy? Whenever you freaking do the like gender swap thing, he looks like a hot girl. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not okay. Take out the hot. But,
no, it's clip that.
Yo, clip it.
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
Is this real chat? But yeah.
Put question marks down in the chat. Spam question mark.
But also, being a Tennessee fan, I've had to deal with him playing in Alabama as well.
Oh, and, yeah,
true. Just as funny as the gritty thing is, it's like, bro, why are you grittying?
Because he hits it, dog. It's
doesn't
clean.
hit it,
It's clean.
It's not clean.
You just mad.
Mad about what? He hasn't done shit. Really?
You just mad.
Other than college. Like, his college career was great.
He brought us to the playoffs. A double-digit record. Win record.
I'm not getting into this shit again, bro. Go ahead.
At my number 2, I have Chase Claypool. You basically said everything. He's Juju 2.0, basically, but worse, in my opinion.
Juju's little bro.
But he's worse because Juju's better, in my opinion. And Juju at times can have a really good game. And it's not consistent, but Juju's early years, like, he was starting to a replacement for Antonio Brown. Like, he's nowhere near Antonio Brown, but Antonio Brown was like all the controversy was happening, and Juju stood up, like picked up where he was gone. His beginning of his career was good, but Claypool just he's just so annoying. He sucks. Yeah, that's all I had to say. He basically said everything else.
Yeah, I'm at number 1. Which you guys can argue about this in the comments if it's allowed or not, because he's not in the league, which gets to my point. Cam Newton at my number 1. The reason I have Cam Newton at my number 1 is I actually really like this guy. I actually did. I enjoyed everything about him, but he's gotten to number 1 on my list because he's shit now. He's washed, and don't tell me he isn't, because whenever he came back,
there ain't 32 guys better than him, dog.
And that's what I was about to get to. He said there's not 32 players better than him, but yet whenever he goes to the Panthers, he has like double the interceptions and touchdowns. And then, he played I think he had like 7 wins that year with the Patriots whenever he was there. He's not how he used to be. And I think he hasn't accepted that yet. And whenever he does accept that, and he's a little bit more humble about like his position in the league right now, then I'll like him again, because he's a great player when he was good. But now he's just not good, and he keeps thinking he is. And I'm sorry, but there's a reason that you're not even a backup quarterback right now. I mean, maybe he's better than Mason Rudolph, honestly, but you're
I think he's good enough to be a backup, but just like all that, must be like locker room stuff that goes behind it, because he was supposed to be the backup for Mac Jones, but then the Patriots released him. Maybe there's like just something behind the scenes that we didn't see.
There probably is. I mean, I've seen the video where he's like telling guys to like not go to big schools.
Yeah, like Mac Jones. Like, I'm not like even. Mac Jones had to teach him shit on the playbook. And Mac Jones is going into his rookie year.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, at my number 1, I honestly I do hate this player because of the fans, and that's New York fans with Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes, no, he sucks. He is not good. He is overrated. He does not deserve that contract. He was running and he would just fall. He trips and falls.
That's one of my favorite clips is when he's running and he's almost to the end zone, just trips.
It's so funny. And it's just Zach Levinson, our friend. He hypes this man up so much. I just see his stories. Danny Dimes. This is the guy. He is our guy bringing us to the Super Bowl. No, he is not. He is not Eli Manning. It's not going to happen. I mean, he has Darren Waller now. Let's see what happens, but it's not. I hate this player. It's just I don't hate him as a person I hate the fans that come around him that hype him up so much when he's not that good.
Yeah.
But that is in my list.
He's like definition of mid-tier quarterback.
Yeah, and he doesn't that contract made me pissed. There's like why are the Giants giving him that much money for a mid quarterback? He is the definition of a system quarterback. But
yeah, that's
our lists. We won't. I think it was a pretty solid list. We'll probably do that for every league at some point, like baseball, NBA. Probably not NHL because we don't really
name
watch.
Me 5 players.
We'll do a countdown of name 5 players in the NHL. But let's head into our next segment. It is Fight Club UFC 289. Nick, so you'll sit back and listen to this one.
Let me sit back and chill. Let me put the mic down. Get the Prime ready.
I put this one in. Oh, Prime is UFC's official drink, actually. I don't know if you know that.
That's why I chose to drink this.
Tomorrow's episode, I'll have me and Luke drinking this tomorrow. But Fight Club UFC 289, it wasn't a big event. The next two are definitely going to be way bigger, and I probably we'll probably talk about it because these are honestly going to be the 2 fights of the year, like the fight cards of the year. They're insane. But with this one, there was 2 fights. 2 big fights. The first one we'll start with the main event, which was Amanda Nunes's fight. She is the greatest woman fighter in the UFC ever. She was a double champion, and she retired after a fight. She called it a quits.
Did she win?
She did win.
I saw something where like the girl that she beat said that like she forced her into retirement or something. I'm like, you lost.
So no, not the girl she beat. This one. So it was the girl name is Julia Pena. She wanted a trilogy. She was supposed to fight, but she had to back up for injury, and they've beaten each other once each. And she actually finished Nunes. Like it wasn't a decision. She finished her, and then Nunes came back, beat her, and became champion again. And she wants that trilogy fight because she says she can beat her, and that she retired because she's scared, like you said. But Nunes is like laughing. She's like, oh, she'll never be champion again, even with me leaving. She's never going to win. But it's funny. Damn. Pena, it's the best rivalry in the women's division of UFC. Amanda Nunes, I've said it on the uppercut before. She is so good she can beat some of the men fighters in the UFC. She is actually a great fighter, and it's sad to see her go because she retired as a champ. It's super impressive. Not many can do that. Honestly, she's the only one that has done that, retired as a champ. Super impressive career. She'll be in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully she does come back. I would love to see a trilogy fight between her and Pena, but who knows. But the next fight that I was so excited to watch was Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. Charles Oliveira, he is known as one of the best lightweights of all time because he went on an 11-fight win streak. He came after Khabib to be the champion. He lost to Khabib 2.0. And Islam Makhachev lost his belt. He got submitted. And this is his comeback fight. He was fighting the number 4 ranked Beneil Dariush. People are saying it was a title fight. Whoever wins gets the title. I don't think so personally. But he beat this guy in 1 round. He finished him. He knocked him out in 1 round. It was definitely the best comeback, the best option for him. Dariush, sad because this was like his last title run and he's never been champion. But I didn't see him winning. And Oliveira, it was in Canada. This is his 5th fight in Canada. He was 0-4 coming to the fight in Canada and been finished 4 times. So people were like, maybe he'll lose. But he didn't. He came back in good fashion. But he has this one cold saying. Like I've said this on the uppercut before. When he was champion, he would say, and he's like, he barely speaks any English. But he goes, the champion has a name. His name's Charles Oliveira. Like he would say that leaving every championship, going to the stadium. Then he took the mic at the very end and he said, "The champion has his name, and his name will be Charles Oliveira," because he wants that fight again. But that's basically what happened at UFC 289. We'll see what happens with him next. But I'm excited for UFC 290 and 291 and even 292. Sean O'Malley. He's fighting at UFC 292. And we'll talk more about that later. But if you want to hear more of my thoughts, tune into The Uppercut.
Yeah. Every Friday episode.
Every Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do it with our friend Luke Stutzman. Mm-hmm. But let's head into our last segment, which is draft day. The things that make you think of summer or summer vibes. Movies, songs, places. Let me get the wheel of names up on here for us. With the first pick, it will be Nick. Here, keep talking.
I don't know what to say.
Where the wheel of names is spinning. I'm sorry, guys, for the blankness. Oh, hey, Nick, it's the first pick.
It's of course like on someday I don't have anything on my draft board.
How many picks do you want to
do? We could do 7 for this.
All right, let's do 7.
All right. So start us off. Things that make you think of summer. It's gonna sound. I don't know how to word this, but like TikTok 2019.
TikTok 2019, 2020.
Yeah, and specifically, if I had to get specific, the guy that's like with the song, it's like, and he has like a cheeseburger. He's like, I made a cheeseburger. I'll have to show it to you if you don't know it, but that reminds me of summer, bro.
I do not know what you're talking about. But I like, you lost me, the cheeseburger guy. Like, I was thinking
TikTok 2019, like all the Visco girls, all that. That reminds me of summer.
Yeah. With my first pick, I'm gonna go with the song called "Summer" by Calvin Harris, the EDM song. When I met you in this bump, yeah, that's like I listen to that right when summer hits. Usually every year, it's just a good song.
Things that make me think of summer, the beach.
Solid pick right there, man. Solid pick.
Yeah, I
had that on my list. The next one I'm picking is Grown Ups, the movie. I watched that all the year. It just Grown Ups just reminds me of the water slide scene. Grown Ups 2 specifically. I'll put that. I won't pick the whole franchise, but I'll pick Grown Ups 2. Yeah. It just reminds me of summer. Them at the water park.
Oh yeah.
I watched it every year during the summer usually.
The thing that was in that movie that reminds me of summer, 4th of July.
Yeah. It is. It does remind you of summer because it is in summer.
Yeah, it's one of those holidays. It's like summer in a nutshell. Going out, you
watching
get
the fireworks.
You go to the beach. You go to the like lake house, whatever. You
fireworks,
get
hot dogs, hamburgers. Yeah. It's a vibe.
It is, bro. It's a good summer vibe right there.
Yeah, and with that, what that reminds me of is actually gonna be my next pick, The Sandlot. It's just the scene where they're 4th of July hitting baseballs, playing baseball, just fireworks. Because that whole movie takes place during the summer. It just you and the boys playing baseball.
Yeah. Which I was since you said it, and I was already thinking this before. Baseball games.
Yep.
Summer is prime time to go to baseball games.
Solid pick. With my next pick, I'm gonna go with just vacation. Like summer's like
you gotta say where you're going vacation. Come on now.
Okay, tropical vacations.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say tropical vacations.
Sure.
Beach, cruises, going to like just a tropical island, Hawaii.
All right, since I'm gonna make you happy. Pick a movie that reminds me of the summer. Teen Beach Movie.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
That does remind me of summer. Teen Beach Movie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my 5th pick. I think I'm gonna go with another song. This is kind of hard now. I'm gonna go Vacation Bible School.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That was my summer every year. One week of summer, I went to Vacation Bible School, and I actually looked forward to it. Being a student and then being just a volunteer is fun. is something to look forward to in summer.
Yeah. As far as songs go, I'm gonna go with Southern Nights. I think Glenn Campbell sings it. Could be wrong about the artist.
I do know that's a good song.
That reminds me of summer for sure.
Another song I'll go with is Pina Colada. Reminds me of summer, just sitting on the beach. This song just in you like Pina Colada.
Yeah.
Great song, by the way.
Great singing voice.
I know. I know. I'm going to watch me on The Voice next season.
Whoa. Spoilers, guys. If you got this far, you're welcome. Is this my last pick?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is your last pick.
Man, honestly, there's not a lot of people that watch this far anyways. Summer things.
Here, you want to look at my list?
Nah.
All right.
What is this picture? It's just a bunch of stuff. Man, I already have a pretty solid team. This has got to be like the last thing to kind of wrap it around. I can't really think of like a summer movie. Do you have a summer movie on your list?
I do, and you reminded me of it in the show.
Let me see.
No, I don't.
It's
I was
not on the list.
It is, but I was going to take that as my last pick.
Bro, you just said I could look at your list.
Fine, whatever. It's the last one on my list.
Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I thought of that since the beginning, but it really doesn't remind me of it, to be honest. It's a good pick though. Got some good songs.
All these songs remind me of summer, honestly. That's why I was gonna have like the draft gonna be summer songs that makes me think of summer. But
I will steal one from you because I would pick it if I did a draft board anyways. Bob Marley. Damn. You're saying damn, but you already told me what your next pick was gonna be.
No, I'm not gonna take that anymore. Bob Marley, good. Yeah, that's a good pick. I'm going to go with, this is something I do. I go to the beach every year for the summer. Something I do all the time, and it's crabbing at night. It is honestly, when I go to the beach, that's what I look forward to. I just love going on the beach, just catching some crabs. Little fiddler crabs. They just run away from you, and they're scared. But you just catch them, put them in a bucket, and then you let them go. PETA, don't be mad at me. I let them go. I don't harm them unless it's blue crabs. Those are the fun ones to catch because they're in the water. You have to get in the water, go catch them. Fiddler crabs are funny because they try to size you up at first.
Dang.
And then they pinch you. They pinched Andrew once. Andrew sort of crying, not crying, but he was like, ah, what a pussy.
Such a baby.
I know, right? But that's my list, and we'll go over the teams. Team Nick, TikTok 2019/2020, the beach. 4th of July baseball games, Teen Beach Movie, Southern Nights, and Bob Marley. Team Mike, Summer by Calvin Harris, Grown Ups 2, The Sandlot, A Tropical Vacations, Vacation Bible School, the song Pina Colada, and Crabbing. Let us know down in the comments who you think won that draft. And also let us know what draft days you'd want us to do because we are running low on ideas for draft days.
As you could tell.
I actually got a good one, though, for if you want to do for next week. You can do childhood crushes.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that on Barstool.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's actually a good one.
Yeah, I did see that little clip that they did. But the one thing that was on the list that we were hinting at, if you were wondering, was Dire Wimpy Kid Dog Days, which I actually the first thing I thought of was that. And then I was like, it doesn't fully remind me of summer. I feel like there's better things out there that would.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't pick it. But if you got this far, we're going to head into the post game. Thank you so much for watching. And, if you're sitting down on your couch or laying down wherever, but especially if you're just sitting, there's a great app that you can use to sit down even more. It's called SeatGeek right there. Make sure to use our code ATC for $20 off your first purchase. And, we talked about baseball games in the draft. Please use our code. You can get $20 off for any baseball game. If you're in Florida, the Rays are popping off right now. Great to go to their games. Marlins, you got wherever you are, there's a baseball team near you. And if you think there isn't, there's probably a minor league team near you. So go use that code for that. And, we are showing off our Prime thing here. But if you look over in that cabinet, you can see our Dubby container. Make sure you use code against the call in all caps for 10% off any of your purchases on Dubby. And other than that, we're excited to continue against the call. And speaking of against the call, if you are in need of a shirt for any reason, Michael is wearing our lovely shirt right here. Please contact me or Mike for any inquiries about the shirt.
Super
As you can tell, man,